Welcome to my second video on operational reporting, MI and analytics. Today we'll go through KRIs and KPIs and I will share 5 key steps to build an effective reporting and analytics program. So let's jump right into today's video. In part 1 of this video series on operational reporting, MI and analytics, we already clarified the difference between reports and analytics. And as you might recall, analytics delivers more high-level recommendations, whereas reporting is more focused on organizing and summarizing data. So let's continue our journey into financial crime related reporting and analytics by defining KRIs and KPIs. Those risk measures and data points that create spotlights on a bank's risk exposure are known as key risk and performance indicators, which you probably know as KRIs and KPIs. KRIs and KPIs are at the foundation of many reports as they can numerically describe different types of changes linked to the monitored risks or performances. So let's take a closer look. Key risk indicators are used to keep track of the primary factors linked to the risks monitored. For example, volumes of SARS identified via AML-TM detection scenarios. The volume of SARS filed by a bank here indicates the likelihood of a possible money laundering activity. So, by monitoring the SARS volume, we produce and keep track of a primary factor linked to the money laundering risks. Key performance indicators instead provide information on the state of operational processes, which may then reveal operational flaws, malfunctions and possible losses. For example, a KPI related to operational reporting MI could be the volumes of CDD reviews that are overdue. As you can see, a large volume reported under this KPI would highlight that something is not working as it should within the CDD review process. A key element that you should know on the use of KPIs and KRIs is that risk and performance indicators are often paired with escalation triggers to warn when risk levels approach or exceed threshold or limits and prompt mitigation plans. This sentence was quoted from the Principles for the Sound Management of Operational Risk, published by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. So to simplify that sentence, essentially, I look at KPIs and KRIs like handbrakes. When risk levels are approaching or going beyond certain thresholds, those should trigger mitigation strategies. As promised in the intro, I would like now to talk about 5 basic principles to build an effective program using KPIs and KRIs. So, to simplify our lives, from now on I will simply call metrics all KPIs and KRIs. But before we dive into it, if you are finding interesting the content from this video, remember to subscribe to my channel and press the thumb up to help my video spread more on YouTube. So thank you for doing that. Building an effective KPI and KRI programs. First of all, metrics must always be created with a smart approach in mind, so they will need to be specific, measurable, actionable, reliable and time-bound. If any of these elements will be missing, it won't be practically possible to use such metrics. So let's start with step 1. Qualification of metrics. Regardless if you are fine-tuning or an existing metric program or if you are creating a new one from scratch, as a first step you would probably want to qualify which metrics should be used. To do so, you can establish your list of metrics and agree about the most effective risk and performance indicators that should be linked to each metric. The second step is metric definition. As a second step, we need to add more information about how a metric is defined. This includes deciding for each metric the threshold values that should be applied for the RAG status, which are the escalation factors or values, and categorizing metrics across those different financial crime areas. For example, a group of metrics can be part of the CDD monitoring, another group of metrics can be part of surveillance, insurance, and audit, and so on. Step 3. Metric program governance. We should now define a number of important aspects for your metric program to maintain always under control who does what and when. As part of your governance document, we want to indicate the specific roles and responsibilities across teams, which processes must be followed for applying changes to the program, details about the overall management of the metric program, including the data maintenance aspect, and what monitoring requirements are in place for quality assurance. Step 4. Ongoing reviews. Once all those elements are formed, we can then launch our financial crime metrics programs. However, to ensure that we reach the highest standard of effectiveness and efficiency, the metric program will still require to be continually monitored and assessed. You will discover also that changes to the usefulness and applicability of certain KRIs and KPIs, as well as their threshold, will also be provided back into the program quite frequently from the senior management team, which takes me to the fifth and final step, the circulation of metrics. The objective of all those metrics is to monitor and take action about your financial crime risks. So once metrics are produced and analyzed, trends and exposures must then be reported in accordance with the approved reporting and escalation routes. In part 3 of this video series on operational reporting, MI and analytics, we'll cover detailed examples of financial crime metrics, so stay tuned for that. And to receive a copy of the slides presented in this video, support FinCrime Agent on patreon.com/FCAgent. And I'm pleased also to let you know that if you want to send a super thanks for the work that I do, you can do that directly from this video. And with that, I'm at the end of part 2, so thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed today's content, and until next time, see you soon.